Well, hello everyone. Welcome back to the Foyt Health and Wellbeing Podcast, where we unwrap holistic therapies and give an opportunity for all of our therapists and member practitioners to be able to share what they do, how they do it, and why and how it can benefit so many of the people in the world as they offer their services in the UK, where we're based, and also across the world. Today I have the privilege of chatting with Rosa Sawer, who is based down in Spain currently. So we're properly going international today. Originally she's from the southwest of the UK, but she moved to Madrid in September 2024. She now works as a holistic health coach and a yoga teacher. She specialises in Yin and MFR techniques. She helps her clients move from a place of overwhelm, stress and constant fatigue to feeling more energised, calm and reconnected with their bodies. With over 400 hours of training in somatic practices, she is passionate about using movement as medicine. She brings this into all aspects of her work. She believes everyone deserves to be viewed holistically and supports her clients to find subtle habit shifts and balance in their everyday lives by setting achievable, sustainable health goals. This helps them to feel empowered and to connect with their own bodies. So Rosa, great to have you on today, and great to have a chat about what you're doing and where you are and how you got into the whole world of health and well-being.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me, Andrew. It's great to be here.
Wonderful, wonderful. You suggested that we should have a title of tuning into your nervous system. So what exactly is nervous system regulation?
Yeah, well, nervous system regulation is essentially being able to come back to a place of calm and almost relaxation after being in a moment of stress or experiencing a heightened state of activation. So it's that ability for you to bring your body back into this moment of calm, but also kind of engaging the parasympathetic nervous system, which we can go into a bit more later if you want.
Okay, great, interesting. Yeah, why do you think so many people feel overwhelmed and disconnected right now in the modern world?
I think it's a variety of factors, but I think that unfortunately we are living in a state of chronic stress, most of us, and this is mainly due to so many stimulus in the world. You know, we go out into the street, there's a lot of noise, there are a lot of people, we're always feeling like we need to rush and get things done as quickly as possible, and as well as that, you know, social media on top of it doesn't help with constant notifications, people feeling like they need to be connected all of the time, and this can over time have a real impact on our nervous systems because we are just then constantly switched on and in this activated state, and think that we need to keep pushing and pushing and pushing in order to be more productive, but actually the reverse is true. When we take time to give ourselves a bit of space, or give ourselves that time to relax and just to settle ourselves, it can actually make us a lot more productive and give our brains that focus back, that concentration, and just that space to be able to think more clearly as well.
Absolutely, that moment to breathe, pause, and just not get so stuck in the middle of it all. Just to take a step back. When I was studying, I found it really helped to write out the problem, maths problem, whatever it would be, on a big whiteboard on the wall, and then take 3 steps back, because if it's right here in front of my face, all I can think about is this, and I can't get through it, I can't get it right. And if it's over there, it feels a bit smaller, just because if you're further away, the problem is a smaller problem. So that could really help. What are some sort of things you can see in someone? What's something that makes it obvious that, oh, this person is getting overwhelmed? What are the signs of that?
Well, from an outsider's perspective, I think you can you can see kind of tension in the body. You can see people are just like hunching their shoulders maybe, or they're kind of, everything is just kind of tunnel vision. So rather than having this idea of a wider vision, like you were just mentioning, you know, writing things out and actually stepping back and looking at things with a wider perspective, people just having this one track mind or one track vision can really lead to overwhelm very, very quickly. But, you know, it's, my work as well is more focused on people actually feeling it for themselves. So like you're saying, how can you notice it in other people? Yes, I can do that as a practitioner, but what I really want is people to notice it for themselves, you know, and to actually check in with their bodies and how they're feeling, to be able to notice and bring this awareness back, because so many times we kind of override our systems by saying, okay, I'm hungry or I'm really tired right now, okay, I'm going to have a coffee to push through and to be able to complete this project. Whereas actually, if we start responding to the signals that our body is giving us, if we start listening, then we start to rebuild this relationship that we have to our bodies, and then the body will, you know, trust that we're going to react in a way that it wants to. So you kind of have this two-way conversation back, as opposed to you just being more in your mind all the time and thinking like, no, I need to work, I need to finish this thing before I can actually give my body what it needs and what it deserves, essentially. But sorry, that didn't really answer your specific question about.
No, absolutely, that's great. Yeah, because that's such an important idea, to understand that distinction between, where you are and where you can be, and that you're getting so stuck into your mind that actually, we do need to step out of it and step away from the problem to be able to think clearly and give our bodies the space to rest and recover. Because unless you do that, unless there is a moment of rest, issues come up, and it will start showing itself in more stress, in overwhelm, in your body just not being able to process things. It's a real problem. So you do need to give your body that space to be healthy.
Exactly, and a lot of people think, for example, talking about being healthy, like with the immune system and things, but the immune system is a part of your nervous system, because your nervous system is the whole package of your brain, your organs, your body, your system, your bodily system. So if this is out of whack, if the nervous system is, you know, not functioning correctly, everything else will be affected. So it's so vital to our well-being, you know.
Okay, so how can somebody start tuning into their body when they realise, hey, I'm a bit overwhelmed, there's all these stresses going on in life, I've got work, I've got personal study, CPD, or whatever I'm doing. How can they start tuning into their body and improving the situation?
Well, that's a great question, and I think the thing to remember is that it doesn't need to be complicated.
Yes.
A lot of people might think, oh, nervous system regulation, that sounds a bit, you know, overwhelming in itself. How do I even begin? But what I tell a lot of my clients is just to start small, and often a really effective method is just to stop for 2 minutes in your day and just ask yourself, okay, how am I actually feeling right now, and is there anything that I need in this moment? Like, maybe, like I was saying earlier, maybe I'm thirsty and I need to get a drink, or maybe I actually just need to spend 2 minutes looking away from my screen because my eyes are like lasered into my screen or something. So it's literally just pausing and bringing this awareness back into the physical body, so that we're not so much in our heads all the time, and we're actually looking back at ourselves, and just it's very small. It might seem overly simple, but actually the effect that it has, if you do it consistently every day, can really strengthen that connection that you have with yourself again.
Gotcha. That makes perfect sense, because as with anything, a little practice over time really improves your skill. I mean, you're living in Spain, so I'm sure doing your Spanish a little bit every day, just practicing it,
Yeah.
it makes it better. Say mejora su español. It takes it and makes it that little bit better, bit by bit. It's the same thing with learning how to connect with the body, how to understand and listen to the signs of it. Just sort of realizing, oh, I'm getting a bit dehydrated. I should go and have a drink. Because some people really struggle with just recognizing that and realizing, okay, the issue here is I haven't drunk enough water today. And actually just getting, I know some people have water bottles that just have the labels down them just saying, hey, keep going, don't stop now, you're halfway there, because otherwise you're not going to drink enough. And it's really useful just having it in place, those practices, those routines, make sure that you actually keep doing the care for yourself in the way that your body needs. So yeah, a little and often tuning in, just stopping and saying, how am I doing today? How was that call? How am I feeling calm? Am I feeling relaxed? Am I a bit nervous? Whatever it is, how can I regulate, calm down a bit, so that I can then get on to the next task and the next job more ready for it, more prepared for it, to enter into it and do as well as I know I can.
Exactly. And like you say, the more consistent you are with it, then the more, not to get too like sciencey about it, but like those will build the neural pathways of that intention, and also that way that you're treating yourself. So that will positively influence just even the way that you think about yourself as well. So
absolutely,
yeah. So it has benefits in all aspects.
Of course. Great. Okay, so if this is resonating with someone and they're saying, yeah, I know sometimes when I'm feeling a bit overwhelmed and a bit pressured, what are some top tips you could give for anyone who wants to start feeling more connected to themselves and doesn't know how to start?
I think actually setting an alarm, and maybe at the same time every day. So whether it's mid-morning, because that you start to flag at that time, or 3 o'clock in the afternoon or something, when you're reaching for that third coffee or whatever. I think if you build in a habit that's at the same time every day initially, it can really help just to take that decision out of it, or take that kind of stress even associated with doing something new, and also in case you're busy and then you forget, you've got that literal reminder that you need to do it now. And like I said before, just starting off small, not envisioning it to be this big thing, but just literally a 2-minute check-in. I also like to do it sometimes before I'm eating, because when we check back into the parasympathetic nervous system, this rest and digest mode of the body, as opposed to the sympathetic, which is the activated, the fight or flight mode, it can really help with digestion. So just taking like a couple of deep breaths before you start to eat can really help your digestive system as well. And top tips, I guess I would also suggest just thinking of one activity, one little thing that you like to do. Maybe it's just having your coffee quietly by yourself in the morning. Now it's nice weather outside, in England as well, I've heard. You could just,
it's been glorious.
yeah, sit outside with your coffee, just taking like 10 minutes to listen to the birds, or if you like practicing yoga or any exercise, just making sure that you really make the time for that, and don't override it with tasks that you think are more important.
Yes.
Because at the first thing that is important is you, and as soon as you care for yourself, you'll be able to care more for other people and for other aspects of your life. So
Absolutely. That's it. You need to start from a solid position to be able to go forwards, do other things in the same way. Caring for someone else, you need to be healthy in yourself to do that. You need to be strong enough to carry somebody else's load and take some of the weight off them.
Exactly.
Absolutely. Okay, so what's your own experience in this work, and how has it sort of affected your own life and putting into place these practices of having a regular check-in with yourself before meetings or whatever?
Um, well, as you mentioned at the beginning, then I'm a health coach and a yoga teacher, so I work with clients who feel overwhelmed or stressed, or like they're going through life kind of checked out a little bit. There may be um, I call it kind of functional burnout. So you're burnt out emotionally, or you're not really connecting to what you're doing, but you are still getting things done. So it's not as
Yes.
obvious as you know as classic burnout, I suppose. Um, and so I like to, we work together with my health coaching clients. We work together one on one to build more strategies into the day, through nutrition, through simple habit shifts like we've mentioned today, or little mindful techniques that they can use in their daily lives, just to bring themselves back to this place of connection and trust with their own bodies. And then in terms of yin yoga, I teach a class here in Madrid, and I also teach online. So
Okay.
I really love yin because it goes hand in hand with nervous system regulation. Because I don't know if you've ever tried yin, but
I haven't personally, no. There's so many different modalities
yeah,
represented in Foyt. Yin yoga is one I haven't tried personally, so yeah, feel free to explain and just tell me how it sort of integrates with the mental overwhelm regulation process that we've been discussing. How you integrate the two there.
yeah, sure. It's well, yin is essentially a style of yoga where you hold positions for between 3 to 5 minutes. So
Oh
it's
right,
not
as long as that, okay.
it's not your typical flow yoga at all. Um, but it's really amazing, I think, because it it's kind of, it forces you to investigate, it forces you to be curious with your body, and also in this in this space with no distractions, right? So for a lot of people, even though on the outside it looks quite simple, quite easy maybe, when you're actually practicing it, it can be very, very challenging, because you're just holding this pose with your own thoughts for 5 minutes, and there's no distraction. Okay, you're not even distracted by doing a flow like you would in a typical vinyasa class.
Yes.
Um, so it can be really interesting, because it can show what thoughts come up, how you kind of start speaking to yourself, and this can follow patterns of how you are treating yourself as well, like away from the mat. So over time, like I was mentioning earlier with the neural pathways, if you're more positively influencing those and creating these new pathways through the practice of yoga as well, then this can really help you and really transform how you live just day to day. So that's that's the reason why I love it. But
Of course.
yeah. But yeah. So it's really powerful practice, I would say. And I think I was going to say something else, but I can't remember now. So yeah.
No, quite so. Yeah, I appreciate that simple distinction of yin yoga compared to other more fluid, continuous motion forms of yoga, because, yeah, as you say, that immediately ties in. I can see the connection there straight away. If you're forcing yourself to just pause in whatever the pose is, then you're immediately stopping and slowing down.
Exactly.
So, yeah, and you're not just standing still doing nothing or sitting still doing nothing. And what am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to think about something?
Yeah.
Oh, I need to hoover the floor.
Exactly.
Actually, if you're holding a pose, keeping yourself positioned in one state, in one position, one pose there, then you are self-regulating, because you're tensing the right muscles to keep yourself still. But you're relaxed and comfortable once you settle into the pose. Yeah, I can really see how that immediately does regulate
Yeah.
the whole body. So thank you for explaining that to me.
Of course.
Great. Wonderful. Well, Rosa, it's been great speaking with you. I hope we can have you on again sometime to chat a bit more about how and why you ended up doing yoga and all these different practices in Spain. I'm sure there's a bit of a good story behind that. But are there any links to your online classes that you'd like to share with us so we can put them on the screen for anyone?
Yes, I do have a link. I can link to my website. I have a website. My name of my business is Body Frequency. So
Body Frequency, great.
I can on Instagram it's _Body Frequency. But should I put it up now, or would we put it on afterwards?
Yeah, I'll pop it on the screen afterwards, and people will be able to see it there, and link through in the link in the description somewhere down below or wherever it should be, etc. Wonderful. Well, Rosa, it's been great speaking with you today. Thank you very much for coming on, and we look forward to speaking again soon.
Thanks very much, Andrew. It's been great to chat with you.
Okay, bye now.